The first top 10 of 2016 was a list of my most hated levels in video games. Well, this is a continuation of that, except this time, it's all about missions and quests. For those that play free-to-play mobile games, allow me to explain. A mission or a quest is something given to the player, normally by a character. You'll generally find these in open-world games, but I'm sure there are other genres that include them. I'm not talking about levels, I already did that and they are quite different. I'm also only looking at missions that are required for progression through the story of the game, so side quests will not be explored on this list. However, this video will contain a few spoilers, so be warned. With that out of the way, let's get started. Kickstarting this list is a game I spent many hours playing as a kid, and while I've realised that it's not my favourite in the series more recently, I still have fond memories playing it. Except for this. I got stuck on lots of missions first time getting through this, most notably the scattergun course, but I've since mastered that and a lot of the other missions, except for the eco-grid mission. Now I know what you're probably bitching about in the comments, there is an easy way to do it and this is the easiest mission in the game, but I don't care. For whatever reason, whenever I play through this game, I always get stuck on this thing. I don't know why, it's just a simple Pac-Man style minigame, but it pisses me off and I always dread this part of the game. Now I know that one is kind of tame, but we're only at number 10. Slow down or you'll hurt yourself. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. I have some good memories playing this game. I always enjoyed playing it. Aside from these missions, Kona starts off with the first mission you see being a slalom run through a set course. This thing always shits me because it gets more difficult as you go on. The steering is a real problem, speed is another one, and of course my most favourite thing. You're on a timer the entire time. Bailing causes lots of time to be wasted, and it always gets me. Finishing that puts you in front of a new mission where you need to trick over this building, and again, for whatever reason, I always have trouble with this. I also always seem to do these in the same order every time I play. I guess I'm a sucker for bullshit. And while this one isn't required to get through, an honourable mention to the hard combo mission in the shipyard. The game fucks up and it's almost impossible to know where the final letter is. Feck you, Tony Hawk man, I want my money back, you filthy animal. Far out. What's with all the hit and run requests lately? Keep it up if you like, I'll sit the game next to the Ratchet series and call it a day. The Simpsons answer to Grand Theft Auto Hit and Run saw various characters run around Springfield taking part in an epic adventure. But let's talk about Alien Autopsy. The culmination of your efforts is a showdown with Kang and Kodos which sees Homer need to drive toxic waste up into their ship to destroy it. The problem with this is that you need to drive as fast as possible from one side of the map to the other before you run out of time, which is just barely enough by the way, avoiding masses of cars and hitting every jump just right in this treehouse of horror Springfield. God damn, what an ass. Oh, did I forget to mention, you have to do this mission again! Yeah! Grab a new car, go all the way back in the same amount of time, trashing your new ride trying to get away from an enemy vehicle, and doing your best to avoid wrecking shit so that the police don't wreck your shit. You arrive in a most likely destroyed vehicle. Hey, drive all the way fucking back with a little less time than before. You have to be a master of this game to do this. It's fucking insane. Yes! Alien fucking Autopsy Part fucking 3. Race an enemy vehicle to the power plant in a new vehicle that is nowhere near as fast as the ones used previously. When you get there, grab the nuclear waste and go all the way back with even less time. The constant back and forth, by now, this is the 5th time driving this road either way, if you didn't fuck up previously. Luckily at the halfway point, we have to outrun yet another enemy vehicle which spares us a bit of time. But you still arrive at your destination with very little time to spare. It's one of the laziest, most piss-poor endings to a game I've ever seen, and the final cutscene isn't even worth it. Moving the fuck on! I bet most of you were expecting San Andreas to be at the top of this list. Well, you're wrong. While there are plenty of missions in this game that give me trouble, I don't really hate them because this game is so good, but there are 3 that I can't stand. Let's start with Interdiction. This sees CJ drive all over the place and shoot the fuck out of stuff. The first part with helicopters always takes me many tries. Another mission that I can never do first go is Supply Lines. Flying in this game is fine, I can fly pretty well. But this mission requires you to destroy various vehicles on the road with machine guns and limited time. But the final mission, one of the most quoted missions of all time, wrong side of the tracks. This fucking mission. I hate when people quote Big Smoke. All you had to do was follow the damn train. All you had to do was fucking shoot at it! Having to rely on AI to take out the enemies on top of the train is one of the most frustrating things. He either shoots the side of the thing or doesn't shoot at all, wasting valuable time. These missions were the bane of my existence growing up, and for that, I fucking hate them. Dead Island was a pretty disappointing game, honestly. I didn't really enjoy it, especially after playing through everyone's favourite, stock, generic and cliche environment, the sewer. Considering I already had bad things to say about this game before this part only amplifies how bad this is. I get lost in the sewers, I die constantly, and it's generally a pain in the ass. Once we get through, guess what? Time to go through a new area of the sewers to another building, then all the way back, then all the way back again. It's such a large amount of time to spend in a single environment where everything is the same, disgusting and boring. It drives you crazy as this is the slowest part of the story, so when I decide to give Riptide a go and they tell me I had to go through sewers, I turned the game off and haven't played it since. As I mentioned in my top 10 most disappointing games, GTA 4 didn't really do it for me. There is not much I remember about the game even after beating it multiple times, but whenever I think about it, one mission comes to mind: 3-Leaf Clover. Most certainly the best mission in the game, I'll give it that. The response from players led to GTA 5's story including multiple heists, but they were all pretty good in my opinion. This mission starts off with driving for ages while listening to Irish bickering. You then have to run through a massive onslaught of police and SWAT through alleyways, all the way down into the subway and back out, where you need to escape them in a slow, plodding vehicle that's a bigger target than Crew's dirty nappy. On ice physics. Yeah, because the driving in this game sucks. The simplest fuck up or a cheap death results in having to do the entire thing again. Great! This fucking thing. A game with 200 golden bananas, each more frustrating to obtain than the previous. I mentioned this in my review, but it deserves to be destroyed again. In the level Frantic Factory, there is an arcade machine of the original Donkey Kong game. Upon seeing it for the first time, unsuspecting players may think that it's an Easter egg, as nothing tells me that I'm required to beat it. You are required to beat it. Doing so takes what feels like forever due to the amount of retries, but it finally awards you with a golden banana. But only now does it tell me that by torturing myself some more on a harder difficulty, I can earn the Nintendo coin, an item required to face the final boss. What a total fuck up! Think you could have hinted to the player that it might have been worth playing in the first place? Apparently not. Now before we take a look at some of the worst shit I've ever seen, here are some honourable mentions.
Just a good old boys. Never meaning no harm. I've been trouble with the love since the day they was born.
The Dukes of Hazzard Return of the General Lee is one of the most broken, hideous abominations of a video game I've ever seen, and deserves a spot next to E.T., Boom Bang, and anything with this logo on it. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I hate every mission in this game, but there are a few that stand out. Picnic Persuasion requires tailing a car without being seen, stealing said car, and driving back to your starting point through a fucking rock field without damaging it, only to drive all the way back through the rock field with one of the hardest timers and slipperiest controls known to man. That's one. Painting it orange. Attempt to drive, attempt a jump that glitches the car out while Bo and Luke play with each other's balls, and then escape police via a big jump that is virtually impossible to fuck up. Yeah, the Bulldozer mission. Destroy a heap of bulldozers on a timer quicker than Usain Bolt falling down a flight of stairs, and finally, run away Daisy. Slam the fuck out of Daisy to prevent her driving off of a cliff because her brakes were out while everyone around you fucking kills themselves. Only to try and jump the cliff she was going to drive off of just to make sure you get to race in the Hazard fucking Derby. What a total load of cunting fuck this is. I didn't even mention the swamp missions, the dynamite fuckness, and the final fucking race. I hate this game and all of its missions. Here is your prize, you miserable bitch. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share. I'm Square-Eyed Jack, and have a great fucking day. Thanks for watching.